Welcome to this module on the World of Workflows database. In this course, you'll learn the basics of World of Workflows database design and management. The World of Workflows database is a relational database, which is a collection of data organized in tables with columns and rows, allowing for easy access and manipulation of the data. You'll learn about the different types of data types, the rules of good database design, and how to use the user interface and workflows to interact with the database. By the end of this course, you'll have a solid foundation in the principles of World of Workflows databases and be able to use them effectively in your work. Let's get started. To access the database configuration, you need to be an administrator or be running the personal edition. If you can see the Admin tab in the menu, you're good to go. You access the database by clicking Types from the Admin page. Unless you have already created some types or installed a solution, there will be no types in your system. You can create a new type by clicking the Add Type button. A type is like a table of data which includes rows and columns, just like a spreadsheet. The first thing you need to do is give your type a name. This is the name that will be used to refer to the type in the system. You can add a description to remind you, and others, what this type is all about. Click Save to save your type. The example we will work through in this course is to create a simple CRM, or Customer Relationship Management System. To do this, we will need to create 4 types. Customer, for storing information on our customers, the businesses or organizations we may work with. Contacts, for storing information about people and their contact information. Leads, for incoming requests, such as a business card, website contact or feedback form. And finally, opportunity, for real deals we are pursuing with information such as value and potential close date. Go ahead and create these types by choosing Add Type and entering in the name and description, as I have just outlined. Feel free to pause the video while you do this. Continue when you have created the customer, contact, lead and opportunity types. We've now and hopefully successfully added 4 types of data. Next we need to add columns to describe the data. Each type has a column created for you, called title. This is what we call the title field and is used when linking tables together. For a customer, this should be the name of the company. For a contact, it could be the first and last name. You are free to choose what goes in the title field and can also automatically change it later. Follow along the next section and add the columns we need to get started with our CRM. To add a column, go back to Types and click Properties on the type you wish to add a column to. To add a column to this type, click Add Column and enter the data as follows. The column name is the internal name of the column. It's a good idea to make this meaningful and have no spaces. You can use underscores or hyphens to separate words. The display name is used to show to the user in lists and forms. This can be any text and needs to be meaningful to your users. The column description is a description you can use to understand the column in the future, so you know what it was for. The data type is the type of data that will be stored in this column. You can choose from a number of different types. We'll cover these in the next section. Visible chooses whether the column is visible or invisible to the end user. Invisible columns can be used by workflows to store data, but are not shown to the user. Finally, indexed means that the column will be indexed for faster searching. This is useful for columns that are used to search for data. This next section takes about 5 minutes, and over the next 5 minutes, you're going to set up all the data needed for a CRM environment to manage your sales team. World of Workflows can store all sorts of data and solve any number of business problems, but in this course we focus on managing your customers and leads. Clicking Properties on a type allows you to add columns. You add a column by clicking the Add Column button. To customers, we are going to add an address, which is street address, city, state and postal code. We'll then add the website of the customer. Notice we make this a URL data type instead of a string. Once done, customers are complete. Next, we set up contacts. Contacts are people who work for a customer and are the ones we contact directly. Let's navigate back to Types and then click Properties on Contacts. Feel free to use the top menu if you get it wrong. In this case, we'll add first name and last name as strings. Next, we'll add the contact's email address and phone number. If we want to send them a birthday card, let's add their date of birth. Finally, let's add a link or relationship to a company so we can see where each user works. Notice I do this by making the data type a big integer, clicking foreign key, and choosing the type this is related to. Next, we're going to add columns to the leads type. Leads are special in that they are not going to be related to customers or contacts unless we qualify them, so we seem like we are duplicating some columns. Leads have the company name, the first name and last name of the contact along with their phone and email address, and finally a location for notes. We expect our sales team will update a lead until qualified, then create customer, contact and opportunity records. We'll use workflows to do this automatically later on, but for now, we're just creating enough columns to work with our data, as we need it for our simple solution. Finally, let's add columns to opportunities. We'll add links to the company, contact, and original lead first. Next, let's add a deal value using the decimal 2 type for money. Let's add a close date using the date time type. Finally, we'll add some true or false items to represent whether we won or whether the deal is closed or open. So, you can see how easy it is to represent all types of data in the database of types in World of Workflows. In the next module, we'll look at actually working with data in the user interface, and the module after that will deal with views and showing this data to users in a meaningful way.